Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors' $189 million star wants to join Lakers, says Stephen A. Smith. The Los Angeles Lakers have some work to do this offseason now that the Boston Celtics have broken their tie for the most NBA championships. One name continues to be linked to the Lakers, even if the idea remains unlikely. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith noted that Golden State Warriors star Klay Thompson would love to join the Lakers, while adding that the financials make his doing so a slim reality. Smith said the New York Knicks are a much more likely landing spot than the Lakers. Well, in a perfect world, Klay would love to be in Los Angeles, Smith detailed on the June 17 episode of First Take. We all know that. I'm talking about the Lakers. I mean, could you imagine? No space, they can't do it, he said, referring to the salary cap. But that's where he'd love to be. But I'd say learn to like New York. Klay Thompson is expected to test the free agent market and seek offers elsewhere, per at Shams Charania. Should the Lakers pursue him? Thompson has been linked to the Lakers throughout his career, given his strong ties to the franchise. Yet, Thompson has re-signed with the Warriors at every opportunity throughout his NBA tenure. The star guard is a Southern California native. Thompson's father Michael Thompson played for the Lakers and currently works as a broadcast analyst for the team. Unless Thompson wanted to play for less money to join the Lakers, the guard's only chance to land in Los Angeles would be a complicated sign-in trade. Thompson just completed a sizable 5-year, $189 million contract with Golden State. It remains to be seen what Thompson will be able to command on the open market in free agency. NBC Sports Bay Area's Monty Poole reported that Thompson is seeking a 3-year deal, at minimum. Gone are the days when Thompson was among the NBA's best two-way wings, an all-defensive team selection whose exceptional shooting was the basis for 5 consecutive trips to the All-Star game, Poole wrote in a June 17 story titled, Barbosa hopes Klay prioritizes happiness in free agent decision. He still can go for 30 or 40 on a given night, but frequency and efficiency have dipped, as has his defensive versatility. For those reasons, Thompson realizes he won't see anything like his expiring contract, a 5-year max worth $190 million. League sources indicate he's seeking an offer of at least 3 years. One team desperate to add more shooting this offseason is the Orlando Magic. Thompson and the Magic continue to be linked together as NBA free agency nears. The Athletic's Shams Charania and Anthony Slater reported that there is a mutual interest between Thompson and Orlando. That, of course, is in the heart of NBA free agency, which officially begins June 30, Charania and Slater noted in a June 17 article titled, Klay Thompson to join Team Bahamas in Houston for Olympic training camp, sources. Thompson is one of the most high-profile names on the market and his future with the Golden State Warriors remains unsettled. For the first time in Thompson's career, he has shown an appetite to explore external options. There remains mutual interest between Thompson and the Orlando Magic, according to league sources. The Warriors have made clear they want to bring Thompson back at the right price and in the right role. Draymond claims small depression ahead for Celtics after finals win. With 4 NBA championships on his resume, Warriors star Draymond Green has plenty of familiarity with the emotions of winning a title. So after the Celtics clinched the NBA Finals on Monday night, Green shared his thoughts on what Boston's stars likely will experience mentally in the coming weeks and months. The feeling that he's going through right now and experiencing, that high, that cloud that he's rolling through in life, in a few weeks, he'll go through this space of almost a depression, Green said of Boston star Jason Tatum. Tatum is on top of the world right now, which will last for 3 to 4 weeks, Green continued. But once the feelings and perks of being a recent NBA champion wear off, things will become more difficult for the Celtics' top players, with Green specifically referring to Tatum. What that depression is driven by is, man, that feeling felt so good. "My biggest fear now is to never feel that feeling again," Green said. And guess what? In that moment, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. You have to wait, at minimum, an entire year, at maximum, it's infinity. The Celtics have as good a chance as anybody else to be right back on the NBA mountaintop next season, with the team retaining virtually all of its rotation pieces. Still, nothing ever is guaranteed in the NBA, as injuries can occur and elite players often ask to be traded, even away from the league's top teams. As a result, Green's comments come across as perhaps a piece of advice towards Tatum and recently crowned Finals MVP Jaylen Brown. Not many players have been as lucky as Green to achieve that championship feeling several times, so it's important for these young Celtics stars to remain level-headed now that they've reached a new phase of their careers. Warriors' Gary Payton II exercises $9.1 million option for next season. Golden State Warriors guard Gary Payton II has opted into his $9.1 million player option for the 2024-25 season, according to NBA insiders. This is part of the 3-year, $26.15 million contract he signed with the Portland Trail Blazers in July 2022. At his exit interview in April, Payton reiterated that he planned to work on his strength and conditioning in order to maintain his athleticism on the court. The Oregon product turns 32 this December. "It was a rocky season," Payton said at his exit interview. "It's been that way for the last 2 seasons. Just go back to the drawing board this summer, tighten it, tune it a little bit tighter, and just kind of more bulletproof my body, take some different routes and just try to get it stronger, better, last longer." Gary Payton II has opted into his $9.1 million player option for next season, sources tell ESPN. By opting in, Payton II now has the flexibility to extend with the Warriors this offseason. Kendra Andrews, at Kendra__Andrews, June 19, 2024. By exercising his 2024-25 player option, this gives Payton the flexibility to extend with the Warriors this offseason instead of becoming a free agent. Although Payton is a key rotation player in the Warriors' backcourt, his availability has been inconsistent in almost 3 of his 4 seasons with the team. Last season, Payton appeared in 44 games off the bench as he dealt with multiple injuries. He missed 13 consecutive games between November and December with a right calf strain, then 16 straight games between January and February with a left hamstring strain. Moreover, the 8-year veteran has been available for just 66 of 124 games since the Warriors reacquired him from the Trail Blazers at last year's trade deadline. In Golden State's 106-95 win over the Houston Rockets on October 29, 2023, he recorded a season-high 15 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, and a block in 18 minutes off the bench. According to Spotrac, Chris Paul has a $30 million non-guaranteed salary for next season. The Warriors have until June 28 to decide if they want to bring him back. Jonathan Kuminga is extension eligible this offseason as well. Golden State can get $54 million under the second apron with Klay Thompson's deal expired and by waiving Paul and Kevin Looney, per ESPN's Bobby Marks. Why Draymond doesn't see Celtics becoming NBA Dynasty like Warriors. Warriors veteran Draymond Green knows plenty about NBA dynasties, and he believes the Boston Celtics have an uphill battle to climb if they want to become one themselves. The Celtics completed their first step on that journey Monday when they defeated the Dallas Mavericks in 5 games to become 2024 NBA Finals champions, Boston's league record 18th title and first since 2008. The current team would need at least a couple more rings if they want to follow in Golden State's footsteps, but Green explained why that's not as easy in today's NBA. "I do think this team is set up to compete for multiple titles," Green said on the latest episode of his podcast. "When you talk about a potential dynasty, I don't quite see that happening because I think we've got new rules, and we've got a second apron and all of those things. The NBA's new collective bargaining agreement, which took effect in July 2023 and runs through the 2029-30 season, essentially makes it more difficult for teams to sustain long-term success by including another luxury tax apron $17.5 million above the luxury tax line and withholding the taxpayer mid-level exception from teams who surpass it. The Celtics signed 2024 Finals MVP Jaylen Brown to a 5-year, $286.2 million Supermax contract extension last summer, and both Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis are under contract for 4 and 2 more seasons, respectively. But Jason Tatum now is eligible for a Supermax extension as well that certainly will cost a pretty penny, making the mathematics behind keeping a championship contender together for many years to come all the more complicated considering the league's new rules. Those things haven't kicked in yet, and so when those deals start to kick in, and you start to hit that second apron, it just changes things, Green said. And I think, quite frankly, with those rules being in, I don't know if we'll ever see another dynasty, but right now they have a chance quickly to build it. Boston will have to work fast if it wants this squad to become NBA royalty. During the Warriors' prolific run, it was easier to build a dynasty under the league's old rules. But Green also knows even though a team might have the right players, winning more than one title doesn't always come easy. I'll just be completely honest with you, the Celtics won't be as hungry for the next championship as they were for the first championship, Green said. It's just not a realistic thing. Now, not saying to you they won't be hungry and their goal coming into next season won't be to win a championship again, of course that's going to be their goal. But to think that you're going to have the same hunger for your first $1 million as opposed to your second $1 million, it's not the same. It's not driven from the same place. Creating a dynasty not only requires a tenacious front office willing to put the right pieces together, but also a perfect storm of circumstance and talent and, in this case, rules that help create sustainability. The NBA looks different now, however, and Green isn't sure if what the Warriors did across their 4 title runs ever will be done again. I think people started calling us a dynasty when we won 3, Green said. And so they've got a chance to do it quickly, though. Quickly. Does it get done? I don't know. In NBA Draft Journey, former Maryland basketball star Yamir Young heads west with visions of Steph Curry. Yamir Young played at an Under Armour school. He attended a school in North Carolina. And today, he worked out with the Golden State Warriors. The comparisons to an all-time great point guard, Stephen Curry, stop there. But Young tried to channel his best Curry impression on Tuesday in San Francisco, even wearing the Under Armour Curry shoe model during his pre-draft workout with the Golden State Warriors. It was the former Maryland guard's 11th workout with NBA teams. I mean, I got Steph Curry shoes on right now, so just being able to pick the mind of an all-time great would be great, Young said. Advertisement: The AP All-Big Ten first-team selection averaged just over 20 points in his final season in College Park, on 40.4% shooting from the field and 32.4% from deep. He chipped in 4.2 assists per game. Young's career-best season was overshadowed by a disappointing team effort. The fifth-year guard was a booming success after his transfer from Charlotte. Kevin Willard's first roster addition proved prudent, as Young led the way to a NCAA tournament win in his first season and a phenomenal individual season in his second year. He will now try to make it to the NBA. Young is not on any projected mock drafts for next week's NBA draft. The guard's small stature, he stands at only 6'1", lack of a consistent three-point shot and age, 23 years old, are concerns he'll have to prove wrong. Young was not invited to the NBA Combine, but hasn't lost his confidence. He made the all-tournament team at the Portsmouth Invitational, the yearly event for prospects like Young who are on the bubble, earlier this summer. I want to stick to my strengths and just show that I can be a consistent shooter, Young said after the Warriors' workout. But the former Terp is a strong athlete, capable of putting pressure on the rim. Young is a strong scorer off of ball screens. He is also a pesky defender, which tends to translate well to the next level. Just being a pest on defense, at my size being a shorter guard, being able to initiate offense and being able to guard my man, Young said. Golden State is in need of more guard depth. The Warriors roster includes arguably the greatest point guard of all time in Curry, but their depth is weak beyond that. Klay Thompson is an unrestricted free agent, and recent rumors point to him potentially leaving the Bay. Veteran Chris Paul is set to make $30 million in non-guaranteed money and could be a cut candidate. There is a gaping hole at the backup point guard position. Young is unlikely to be drafted. The more probable route is through an undrafted contract or a summer league invite. If he plays well there, then he could potentially secure a spot on a franchise's G League affiliate. Otherwise, his career path might take him overseas. But after going through 11 different workouts with teams, Young feels confident in his prospective NBA future. I feel like in any situation that I'm put in, I'm going to find a way to swim to the top, Young said. Ex-Warriors teammate divulges key to Klay Thompson's free agency. Klay Thompson's future with the Golden State Warriors is in jeopardy, but one of his former teammates shared what's most important to the five-time All-Star guard, offering insight into how the Dubs might bring Thompson back to the Bay Area. Now an assistant coach with the Sacramento Kings, Leandro Barbosa was teammates with Thompson for 2 years, between 2014-16. The two won a title together in 2014-15 and earned a trip back to the NBA Finals the following season. Monty Poole of NBC Sports spoke over the weekend with Barbosa, who Thompson refers to as hermano, the Spanish word for brother, about Thompson's looming free agency. He's going to have to be really patient, Barbosa told Poole. I hope he comes back to the Warriors. I don't know what's the situation, but it's going to be tough. I know the money is going up for NBA players, and he's been thinking about the money. But I think he needs to be happy. I think that's the most important thing. Getty Stephen Curry, left, and Klay Thompson, right, of the Golden State Warriors. All indications are that Thompson has been happy across the vast majority of his 13 years in Golden State. He is one of the best shooters in league history and has only been helped by playing alongside Stephen Curry for so long. Thompson also held a reasonable claim to the moniker of the best two-way player in the game for several seasons, during which he was reeling off All-Star game selections and the Warriors were reeling off finals trips and titles. Thompson signed a 5-year maximum contract in the summer of 2019, just weeks after tearing his ACL during the finals against the Toronto Raptors, which paid him $190 million and expires in a matter of days. The shooting guard ended up missing the first 2.5 seasons on that deal due to the knee injury, which was followed by an Achilles tear late in the rehabilitation process. Thompson has not been the same player since, though talk of his demise as a valuable piece of a winning roster has certainly been overblown over the past couple of years. He helped the Dubs to their 4th title in 2022, and while he isn't the defender he once was, Thompson still averaged nearly 18 points per game and shot close to 39% from behind the three-point line last season. He also led the league in free throw percentage at a 92.7% clip, per Basketball Reference. All of that is to say that while Thompson is no longer a superstar, he remains a plus starter and a legitimate offensive floor spacer who occasionally still flashes true star quality. Klay is not the same as he used to be, Barbosa told Poole. So, it's going to be a tough process for him from now on. With player salaries on the rise in the NBA, which Barbosa noted, Thompson's play is worth more than the casual fan might believe. Golden State offered him 2 years and $48 million ahead of last season, which Thompson declined. How Thompson felt about an annual average salary is unclear, though Poole reported over the weekend that the Warriors came up short on the years Thompson desires with their most recent offer. Thompson realizes he won't see anything like his expiring contract, worth $190 million, Poole wrote. League sources indicate he's seeking an offer of at least 3 years. Thompson has garnered interest from other teams around the league in need of shooting, including the Orlando Magic, who could seriously contend for his services this summer. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Klay Thompson? Leave your opinion in the comments.